Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside helping you get started. Yeah, the concept of participating in forest bathing might be as intimidating as saying, be active or start exercising. Well, where do you start? I mean, there's so many options. So I thought I'd start with simply go outside. However, there was a time where inviting a group of guests to join me outside wasn't possible. So there were opportunities for me to share what it is I know and care about doing with others online. Yeah, through Zoom calls and meetings. Uh, and it was different. It was like participating in a lot of theory and inviting people to share experiences of mindfulness in their own homes, not outside. I could have been outside, but it wasn't the same. It felt like doing guided meditation. So in this format, what I thought I would do is just show you what it is that I was invited to do. It's becoming a certified forest therapy guide. And this is my sit spot. After taking an 8-day practicum, there were still 6 months of participating in my own practicum experiences of participating in a solo sit, which I recorded and shared, took notes, and I did it faithfully every day. So I'm here on the shores of Heart Lake, and I've got a nice perch. And for me, it gives me a nice view of water, which if you've seen me on this format before, you know, for me, water is a must when participating in my own forest bathing experience or when I'm guiding forest therapy walks. And I like to participate, again, surrounded by coniferous trees. And again, you'll have the greatest concentration of those near water. So it makes sense. So once you've got a sit spot, right, and this again could be on your own porch, your own deck, maybe it's a park bench, or maybe it's someplace to sit in a butterfly garden or at the zoo. But if you can find a place outside and you can find a place where you can comfortably sit undisturbed for 20 minutes. And maybe the act of sitting where you are isn't comfortable. I choose this rock, but it's not always warm. It's not always dry. So, I mean, there are a number of products that I invite guests to use, and one of them is this Sit Upon. All right, it's a couple dollars on Amazon, and that might keep my bottom dry and sort of disconnect me from the coolness of this rock. But again, facing west, southwest, this rock, even in the dead of winter, is very rarely covered for snow that long, and I'll make an effort to brush the snow off and it doesn't gather ice. Again, if you don't want to support a multinational, you can go to your local dollar store. And this was in the gardening section. It's a kneeling tool for gardeners, right? It doesn't take up a lot of space if they're down on one knee, but for me, I don't need a lot of real estate. So yeah, I'll bring one of those. Just fits in my pocket, doesn't take up a lot of room in my pack. So spending time outside, other considerations as a certified guide. I am expected to keep up with my wilderness first aid, wilderness first responder. Standard first aid and CPRC are not enough. They do recommend that you are able to be trained and practice those skills in a wilderness environment. So that's sort of next level. And recertifying those is part of my recertification as a guide as well. So I carry a first aid kit in a way to communicate. And in my part of the world, cell phone reception isn't always possible. So leaving notes in the parking lot or leaving notes with friends and family, where I am, how long I'm going to be for, all those important pieces of information in case I don't come back in a timely manner. And then considerations around what else I might need, considering I'm going to be exposed to the environments. So layers, snacks, hydration, any medications. I carry an EpiPen. I'm allergic to stinging insects. And then, considerations around medical information that I might need on behalf of the guests. So once I've gathered the resources, the act of finding the spot, and you'll be drawn to it and you'll just feel comfort in that space. Spending 20 minutes by yourself, for yourself, with yourself. The act of forest bathing, using nature to heal, to calm, to regulate heart rhythms, lower blood pressure, invite more opportunities to be more creative, helps with your memory, and the phytoncides that are on the air, the volatile chemicals from the byproduct of photosynthesis. Trees communication happens with phytoncides on the air, and it's part of the tree's own natural immune system to help protect against invasion from bacteria, infections, might be a fungus, might be a chewing insect. So they'll change the chemistry of the way they taste to fight off those insects, or change their chemistry to help boost, and they'll ask for resources from other people, other living things, other members of the forest who might have resources they can share. So they can communicate on the wind, especially when the mycorrhizae network that also helps trees communicate, share resources, is frozen during winter. Coniferous trees stay green all winter, and they communicate on the air. We inhale those, and they connect to their own immune system, and that is the healing power and the science behind forest bathing. Outside of the effects of introducing calm and what it is to be present and mindful, and that's at the core of what it is to participate in forest therapy and nature connection. It's that connection piece. So this is where we invite people to spend that time mindfully noticing. And as a guide, I'm going to actually provide some direction in terms of, let's spend a couple moments with your eyes closed and just breathe. So just unspecified amount of time so that people aren't aware of it. Inhaling completely, deeply for a 4 count, not 4 seconds, just a 4 count. You can slow that down. And at the top of that breath, you're going to hold for another 4. And exhale fully and completely over another 4. And at the bottom of that, continue to hold for another 4. And that's known as box breathing. And you do that, 4 or 5 cycles. While keeping your eyes closed, continue to be mindful and present and notice. Do some sensory work. What is it that I'm listening to? Birds, some frolicking critters along the waterfront, the wind, waves, all things natural drawing my attention. What brings me joy to listen to? And for me, it's birdsong. What am I smelling in this warm autumn air? Definitely smelling some aspects of fallen leaf litter. You can see the coniferous forest behind me. They have a distinct smell, especially in the sun. And then, of course, being near the body of water has that own freshness to it. There are some flowering plants nearby where I'm getting aromas. And what is it that I feel? The sun, the warmth of that, the coolness of the air, freshness of the water breeze. Then I do a little body work happening from my feet, my core, top of my head. Where am I feeling the stress and the pain? What can I ease? And the sense of taste comes with inhalations with exposed tongue. So what am I tasting on the air? Again, that flavor of the coniferous forest, freshwater body of water. And all of this is done with the eyes closed so that I can reserve the last sight. And again, I'll frame it, invite people to look up slightly and open their eyes and just look at that boxed view slightly up. And after spending some time with your eyes closed, there's obviously some new brightness and appreciation for the fractals of light, play, movement, shadow, and light. And 50 Shades of Green, that's the book I've yet to write. So there are some experiences in that connectivity, that moment of calm and breath work and sensory experience does bring connections. And sometimes I do a little more. I might bring some poetry, right? Just something to read calmly. I'm a big fan of John Muir, Mary Oliver. Some people prefer to listen to some music, sometimes just instrumental in the background, or maybe they're going to play some music. They'll bring a portable travel piece of music, maybe ukulele, maybe a flute, maybe harmonica. But there's a lot of sound, a lot of song in nature. Nature inspires. And then there's spending time with water, getting a little closer, getting your feet right in it. While you're sitting here, you could be barefoot, experiencing some earthing, otherwise known as grounding, exposing bare skin to things that are connected to the bioelectric rhythms of other living things, like the earth itself. But the planet has its own magnetic electric fields. And at one time, our bioelectric rhythms and our heart rate processes in our circulatory system and nervous system were connected to that, regulated by it. But thanks to rubber, we've been literally grounded, disconnected from it. So participating in some earthing or some grounding will help reconnect, literally connect with the planet, connect with the soil itself as well. There are so many things you could do to be creative, picking up little notes and tokens, things that draw your attention, whether it's leaves or acorns or pine cones, branches, bits of moss, different things, and sort of arranging them in whatever way pleases you, creating a colorful mandala pattern on the ground, maybe building little structures, little offerings to nature itself, and a little piece of yourself. And for me, I would just keep adding and keep adding feathers, teeth, bones, shells, snake skins, all these things just sort of amass in a pile nearby, creating some art with that. Evidence that someone has been intentionally collecting and noticing and sharing with nature. Come fall, throughout the winter, I'll bring a pocket full of birdseed and I'll leave it on a nearby stump to help bring and support those wintering things, not just the birds, but the moles and voles and squirrels as well. And those will draw other life forms. And I'll get to do a bit of tracking and be aware and appreciate how much life there is in that time of year. So the act of forest bathing, simply go outside, smell, listen, taste, feel, and connect with yourself, by yourself, for yourself, and allow that time to slow down. It's not wasted time, it's time well spent. It'll improve your sleep, other internal processes, and calm your state of being. And at most, it's 20 minutes to a half hour of a distraction away from those things that cause you grief and stress and pain, physically, mentally, emotionally. And its benefits over time will start to affect the financial aspect of your need for continued healthcare later on. Because so many, in fact, 4 to 5 visits to emergency rooms are stress-related ailments. So nature bathing, simple act of sitting outside, find a spot that's comfortable, be mindful, be present, use your senses, 20 minutes, 3 times a week. That is your nature prescription. And if you could spend a couple hours together once a month, that'll help complete that nature prescription. And if you can find time once a year to spend at least 3 days in nature, truly connecting, deepening your experience, that fills your nature prescription. But find 20 minutes in a comfortable spot in nature. It's a great start. I hope that helps. I appreciate the time and your energy and listening. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.